Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Special edition Tuesday night show. I have a great guest in the back waiting to join me. We're going to talk Jets. We lost yesterday, but why does today feel like a victory Tuesday? Strange. We're Jets fans. We're supposed to be miserable, but we're happy today. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the game. We're going to talk about the new acquisition. We're going to talk about the contract restructure. We're going to talk about good things. Who would have thought we'd have that the day after a Jets loss? So buckle up. I'm sorry I'm late. I'm sure you're all going to make fun of me about it. It was for good reason, good purpose. I know it's Tuesday, but I love this fucking song. We'll be right back. Good evening. Welcome to Thursday Night Throwdown. I'm your host, Nick.
When the blitz comes, there's no one to block him.
It's 10 o'clock, get ready for the showdown. 9 toes down, Nick, ready for the throwdown. We proud Jets fans, we don't play with them pronouns. Best roster in the league, we playing with the pros now. They tell us slow down, call us delusional, call us losers as usual. But this season will be beautiful. Shotgun with you know who, but run it instead. Lad Hall hit the hole hard.
That's what she said.
Ground and pound like it's 2010. The chat, we got many friends. Johnny wearing hats for super chat and watch him breathe again. Nick put the link so Bobby can call and speak again. Bonesy did the blunt, I got the weed and pens. We speaking green again. Jets news like it's CNN. A-Rod and Charles Gorman, it's like we seeing twins. Feeding tins, pounding on these bleeding fins. Week 14 and 18 when they needing wins. They ain't seeing them. We run the ball and play defense. This is AFC hell where the teams repent. Ladies and gents, welcome to MetLife. This is Jet Life. We bleed green, this our best life. We just nice.
Let's say what's up to everyone. Dark Soldier's here. Johnny's in the house. Bobby. Mr. Bonesy's out on the prowl. Na-na-na-na. Since my suicide is here, VR's here. Murdog and Allen. What's up, guys? So, what did we learn today, guys? What did we learn on this show? He can't be defeated. He can't be stopped.
When the blitz comes, there's no one to block him.
Okay. We're here. I'm back. Welcome. Say what's up to everybody. Hello. Welcome to everyone who's here and everyone who will watch later on. Without further ado, I want to bring in my guest. I want to talk ball. I can get all of your crazy comments later on. Let's bring in the one, the only, the great, my friend, the Buffalo Jet fan. What's up, buddy?
Nick Shine. Been too long, man. Thanks for having me on.
No problem, man. Always love talking Jets with you.
I like the glasses. You look distinguished.
I do. I'm trying to fool everyone to look smart, but then
It's working.
I ruin it. No, once I talk, you're like, it's just a prop. I get it. How you doing, man?
Good, man. I'm as far as being 2-4 goes, I feel like I'm pretty like the Adams trade definitely reset like the 24 to 48 hour like depression after a loss. It kind of just got me excited to see him on the field and see like right now I'm just looking at Pittsburgh and New England, like beat those two teams, be 4-4, and we'll figure it out from there.
Yeah. I mean, this game essentially is bigger than the Buffalo game because if you lose the one game to Pittsburgh, you lose a potential tiebreaker down the road. You know, you got to figure Baltimore is going to run away with that division.
Right.
And Pittsburgh's going to be competing for a wild card. You figure Houston might run away with their division. Colts might be competing for a wild card. So those are two really, really big games that we have coming up in the next month. But not to get too far ahead, give me your thoughts on this morning. We've all talked about it. Some of us have talked about it since April 12th, 2023. I've been laughed at in our chat last year saying we're going to get Davante. Rodgers goes down, so we didn't know if it was going to happen last year or not. But the day that I've wanted for a long time finally happened. Give me your thoughts on the trade. Give me your thoughts on the compensation. Give me your thoughts on how you think if you think it needed to be done, if you think it's overkill. Where do you stand with it? Cover all the bases for me.
I definitely think it was a worthwhile shot. Like, to me, because we killed the team last year for not making moves after Rodgers went down, right? and then when the season was kind of lost. So if they're going to try and go down swinging, I can't criticize them for that. And I won't call it a cheap move. You know what? At $11 million, I know he restructured in like the third round pick, but the conditions are very strict though. So it's really like if he makes an All Pro or if we're in the conference championship, like you'll gladly pay a second round pick. So really, a third round pick plus his money, and it's not going to impact future deals. Like I understand you don't want to just keep renting older players. I understand people who aren't like thrilled about the trade because let's be honest, we do have some guys like Mike Williams and Tyron Smith and Morgan Moses who we hope to squeeze one more last good year out of, and it hasn't worked. But at least with Davante, he's played good this season. So did he become washed in the last like 3 weeks? Like if he did, then we should just like cancel the freaking franchise, man. So I'm down with it. You bring in Davante. It's not going to be like, oh, hey, Sauce Gardner, sorry, we have to trade you to the Detroit Lions. We can't afford your extension because you rented, Davante Adams for $11 million. It's not going to be prohibitive to your long-term plans. And now he fits, and you and I were both, kind of more towards like team weapon for the draft. And I think it kind of gives us a little bit of our cake and eating it too, right? You have the insurance policy with Olu, who might need to play for Tyron Smith sooner rather than later. And now you get Adams. And I think this team, they could use, like right now they have Garrett Wilson, who's talented like a wide receiver one. They have Lazard, who knows how to be in the right spot. But Adams gives you both, right? Adams he's like Lazard, Mike Williams, Garrett Wilson, all like their best traits rolled into one. And I know it's an arbitrary title like wide receiver one, wide receiver two. To me, he's the wide receiver one right away in terms of his chemistry with Rodgers, the kind of catches he can make, and even the catch over in the end zone that Garrett, like, it would have been a great catch if he caught it. He got drilled.
Yeah.
But Adams at 6'2", 215, he can make those kind of catches. So I think he changes the offense, and I think it was worth it.
Agreed. Now, I'm my brain as a coach is like your chalkboard, right? Like I'm trying to draw plays in my head. And something that I keep envisioning and I keep coming back to is that I always think of, and even though he's an asshole, I always envision the story with Sean Payton. When they found out that Mario Williams was going number one, they were out at a bar or out to dinner, and they started drawing up plays with Reggie Bush and how they were going to use it. So what I'm envisioning in my head today as a coach, how am I going to use Adams and Wilson together? How am I then going to, if I have them on the same side of the field, and then I'm going to motion Brees out behind them, like, how are you going to cover this? How are we going to, instead of being the team that has the attack, how are we going to attack? Like, I can't wait to see this come together. And it's not going to be a finished product Sunday night. It's not. It's just going to be the starting point for us. But I'm very curious on how this develops and the nuances and the intricacies that they put into this offense with a player. Because as great as Davante Adams been, who's he had next to him? He's had MBS. He's had Lazard. He's had a list of he's had Jags, right? Who's the best receiver that he had next to him? Did he even have James Jones? Like, how, I don't even know how far back that goes. But like, he's never played with a Garrett Wilson. We know that for a fact.
Yeah, I hadn't even thought about that, to be honest. But you're right. Garrett might be the best running mate he's had. And because I think Jordy Nelson was kind of washed by the time Adams hit his stride.
Yeah. So this is very interesting because Wilson's never had an Adams. Adams never had a Wilson. Rodgers has never had an Adams and a Wilson. So how it all comes together and how they all complement one another, it might be game plan specific. It might be formation specific. It might be attacking a weak corner specific with who you put on that side of the field. The best part is now, like you said it very well before. Lazard knows where to be. Wilson knows how to get there. But Adams brings all of that to the table. And Adams also raises the water level for Garrett Wilson as a receiver and as a weapon, because he'll be able to talk during the week and say, hey, you need to get here. You need to get to such and such a point on this play, and then I'll do this. When the two of them on the same side of the field, I don't care if you're playing man, I don't care if you're playing zone, I don't care if you're bracketing, I don't care if you're dropping a linebacker. Now that opens Conklin over the middle. Now that opens Lazard. Two guys who are very good going over the middle. That just
Right.
opens up the middle for them more. And now you bring in a Brees and an Allen into the flats with linebackers. There's so many options with this offense. Was wide receiver the weakest part of our team? No. But I don't think we settled for 4 field goals last night if we have Davante Adams. I think at least 2 of those are getting in. I think the final score is like 34-20, 34-23, and they're panicking. You know, we were down inside the 5 multiple times and didn't score a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
So there's – how do I word it? There's reason to be excited. Like, there's a reason to look at this and say it's not over. You're one game. There's 11 games left. You're one game out of the wild card with 11 games to go.
Yeah, even if you don't,
it's in your favor. You have to just beat this team Sunday, and you are back into a playoff spot. As awful and as many obituaries have been written this morning, you essentially control your own destiny, and that's all you can ask for in this league.
Yeah, they definitely got to win against Pittsburgh. And you're looking at, and even if you don't believe in the Jets, do you believe in the Colts? Do you believe in the Chargers? Like, do you believe in the Dolphins? Like the AFC, there's a few really good teams at the top. I know Buffalo is 4-2, and they deserve the benefit of the doubt. I really didn't see a team that was like significantly better than us, truly, to be honest, last night at all.
I saw a team that should have lost by 2 touchdowns. I saw a team that we allowed to win a game based off of our mistakes, penalties, not finishing in the red zone, and special teams failures. That game should have, Rodgers said it today on McAfee, should have been 30-something points on the board. Yeah,
we have the Jets had the better they had the better defense. They had the better wide receiver 1. I thought Aaron Rodgers played probably better than Josh Allen throwing the ball. So it's a bummer. But you probably have to win. I think 10 wins, because like 9 maybe does it, but you want to try to get to 10 wins. So you have to win. You have to go 8-3. And that has to start with beating the Pittsburgh Steelers. But you look around the AFC, there's going to be a team that gets in that has like significant flaws or had a slow start. Like the Cincinnati Bengals are 2-4, maybe they get in. Like the Broncos have effing Bo Nix, and like looking at their schedule, like they might get in. So it's like, even if you're a nihilistic Jet fan, just the viewpoint of like, we could be that shit team that sneaks in, and now like someone's got to deal with fucking Aaron Rodgers in the wild card round. Like, what the hell? Like, who's Will McDonald? Nobody told us about Will McDonald. What is this? Why is he getting a sack every play?
Shout out to Aaron Judge, who just hit a 2-run home run. Yankees are now up 6-2. Thank you, Clancy, and everyone else who reported it. We're talking here with the Buffalo Jet fan, who has one of the it's the best Twitter account that I follow. I'm not going to lie. I've told you this before. I'm not fluffing you because you're on the show. You know how much I love your show and interacting with you on Twitter, in the DM group and on your page as well.
And in our private DM group.
Oh, we can't talk about that. These people.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, come on. Their heads just exploded. Too much greatness in one spot. We got to water it down with like Tigo and Dom. We can't just have me and you. But yeah, super chats will cut the line. If you got a question you want to throw up, do it that way. Gifting memberships helps the channel, helps it grow. You are actually watching one of the Shiners. Buffalo Jet fan is a Shiner. He is a member of the channel here. So you can interact with one of your fellow Shiners. I am a fluffer. I am. I'm not going to lie.
I actually can't. I wanted to know how to cancel. That's why I came on. I took your invitation.
I know this is all for Dom. But Dom, to be fair, I didn't say. Yeah, I did say you. All right. Yeah. Sorry, Dom. Ooh, yeah. Sorry, pal. Ooh. Well, you know what? Dom is a really big fan of Rich Cimini, so that's his favorite Twitter account. So that's why Buffalo. We will slide you into second, and Rich Cimini is the best Twitter account, according to Dom. Dom would tweet at Rich Cimini, but he can't find his page. So I know some people are saying the offensive line is a problem. How does Adams fix the offensive line? Okay. I'll throw out what I think. I'll kick it over to you with this one. I'll go first. If you have Wilson and you have Adams and you have Brees and you have Conklin and you have a surprisingly very good Lazard. Like, I'm not fluffing here when I say very good. His numbers are very good. They're shockingly good. Like, he's one of the better receivers in football statistically. We know he has drops, but he's putting up numbers. He's tied for the league in touchdowns. Who would have thunk? Not me. I flamed the hell out of this guy. But when you have the ability to have now guys who can beat man-to-man, another stat I heard today on McAfee, Rodgers has his lowest completion percentage and quarterback rating against man-to-man that he's ever had in his career. What helps that? Bringing in Davante, who is one of the greatest statistically at beating man coverage in his career. And he still does it at a high level, even though the quarterbacks in Vegas haven't been able to get him the ball. Now, you're going to have a choice to make as a defensive coordinator. Am I going to put 7 or even 8 back to cover this team? Or am I going to try to blitz quickly to get the ball out of Rodgers' hands or exploit the Jets' offensive line? Who Tyron Smith was the greatest pass-blocking tackle walking the planet in terms of sack rate and win rate. And then he turns into Wayne Hunter the minute he becomes a New York Jet. It's not even a fall from grace. This is a complete suicide bomber from grace. This is putrid what he's turned into. But what do you think? I know I got a lot in me. I got 24-ounce coffee. I am jacked up. I've completed the coffee already, so this is where I'm riding the wave. What's your thoughts with what I was just saying, and how do you think the receiver addition helps the offense, helps the offensive line, and helps the issues that we have so far?
Well, yeah, having good receivers helps protect your quarterback, right? There's no way about it, especially like a hot route cheat code like Davante Adams. You're going to be less likely to blitz. I know that he was, when him and Rodgers were together, they were number 1 in the NFL in like screen passes. He loved it, and he does that with Garrett too. Garrett's got some yak, but Garrett, every time he takes a hit, like I know he's just like, he's so skinny, man. I'm like, gee. So maybe a little bit able to take the wear and tear of Davante. So that helps right there. And yeah, look, I'm going to be honest. Like, yeah, you have to, having subpar offensive tackle play is going to be a problem no matter what else you have. But for me, it's more about when you're not trading for, like, okay, if we could trade a conditional third for Penei Sewell instead of Davante Adams, okay, let's do it. You know what I mean? But that's not happening. So it's about, once you agree that we should try to improve the team, then who's the best player that you can conceivably get? And people say, oh, we have to stop the run. Okay, who are we trading a conditional third for? Are we going to trade a conditional third for like 3 new defensive linemen, and trade a third for like Jermaine Johnson's Achilles to heal? Like, we can't do that. So, or a new kicker. Okay, get a new freaking kicker. What does it have to do with Davante Adams? So we can walk and chew gum at the same time. So you want to try to improve the team. This helps improve the team. It's really that simple to me.
Okay. I saw somebody ask in the chat earlier, how does this help the defensive line? Well, I think the biggest issue with our defensive line is stopping the run, right? Would you agree?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Having a fucking lead helps that. Having touchdown drives instead of a field goal drive on your opening drive helps that. Being up 14-3 after 2 drives helps that. Now, is that a given every week? No, it's not. But the chances of us converting in the red zone have gone up today with this trade. The chances of us converting on 3rd and longs, 3rd and 8s, or overcoming penalties, those chances went up today. The chances of Breece Hall and Braylon Allen having better holes to run through, opening up the entire field offensively, went up today. The defense playing with a lead and not worrying about teams putting together 8 to 10 rush attempts on a drive went down today. So the defense will be helped indirectly by the scoreboard changing. If we're down 10-3, teams can run the ball. You go up 14-3, you're up 14-7. It might change things a little bit on what the other team has to do, and you put the pressure on the other team instead of the pressure constantly and consistently being on the Jets. Like, we can't play from behind every week. This helps us get the lead, and this changes how both the offense and the defense get called, and it changes how the opposition calls their offense and their defense.
Yeah, it changes the dynamic of the team, and I don't know. To me, like, that's, I get it. It's not the biggest need on the team, but it just goes back to, like, if we were to rewind 3 years and rebuild the whole team from scratch, like would a Davante Adams trade necessarily have to be a part of it? No, fine, but this is where we're at. This is kind of the bed we made. And there was in the fourth quarter against the Buffalo Bills, we were the final drive when we were trying to score a touchdown. We come out of a stoppage, and I see Xavier Gibson as like the X receiver by himself. There was a play, I think it was the play before the interception, where Jeremy Rucker is lined up as a big slot, and they do like a little stick and nod to Rucker, like for a contested catch. And to his credit, Taylor Rapp, who played like an absolute demon, made a great play on the ball. But it's like, again, now this ensures that Jeremy Rucker never gets is not targeted over the middle on a critical as down situation. So like Gibson is way out of the rotation now, and now I would be I don't know if he still wants to be here or whatever.
Is he cuttable at this point? Gibson. Is there any reason for Gibson to be on this roster? He is very underwhelming as a return guy. I would rather demote Gibson and elevate Corley and let Corley and Davis be the return guys. I want physical bowling balls returning the ball, not a soft-ass little punt returner who can't break a tackle.
Yeah, and as long as they have like good hands and they're comfortable fielding punts, like I'm sure like you got to be able to find somebody else on your team that can do that. But yeah, I imagine Gibson goes because they're obviously not going to cut Corley, and I think they like Charles as the gunner. I think that they might be easier to find somebody else to return punts than to do whatever Charles does. I don't know. It's like a Brant Boyer question, but yeah. And Gibson, you could probably get him back in the practice squad anyway. I mean, is anyone going to really pick up Xavier Gibson? So that changes. Your whole pecking order gets rearranged, and I hope Mike Williams stays. I know he's in Rodgers' doghouse. He ran the wrong freaking route, like so frustrating. 10-year vet. But he's making no money. You're not going to get. What are you going to trade Mike Williams in a 7th for a 6th or whatever? So if we can keep him here and he's our 4th receiver for depth, and then instead of the 2 tight ends, play 4 receivers, dude. Like Lazard's blocking better than Rucker. I mean, I don't want to. I know like I don't want to pile on a guy, but the tight end group has been pretty like underwhelming this year, especially the depth. So I would live in 11 personnel and then even go to like Chan Gailey, 4 wide receivers if you need to, because the tight ends have been pretty brutal, man.
Yeah. I was at the game yesterday with my son, and I texted you guys, and I was like, are we really with 4 tight ends active? Because they were warming up right in front of us. And I was shocked. I was absolutely shocked. You made a point earlier when you said that we got the best of both worlds, right? With where we got the offensive lineman, and now we've traded for the weapon, because you and I were both team weapon. And how do you feel about this combination of Adams? Like, how do I word this? Do you think Adams and Wilson together make the tight ends better? Or are they just bad tight ends? Like Conklin is like, do you think this opens it up for them to maybe have to? I'm trying not to fucking shade them and shit talk them, but it's me. I'm not gonna sugarcoat shit. Does this make them more productive players on the football field, or are they bad where they just can't exploit the opposition at all? And it's going to be catch, go down, or the only time they get catch and run is failure on the defensive side.
Yeah, well, in terms of yak or dynamic with the ball in their hands, none of them have that. Even Conklin, who, to be fair, I think Conklin, if he got some more opportunities like up the seam, he does have really good hands and he can like do some back shoulder stuff. So Conklin's got that in his bag. But did you catch the play? There was a play I think it was right before the Hail Mary, where Rodgers hit Conklin in the flat and there was nobody around him, and he like struggled to just get to the sideline and get out of bounds. Like he was so slow that he almost got caught by a defensive back that was out of the frame. Now I know he's playing injured, so Conklin is he's fine. You know, he's not making a lot of money. He plays every freaking game. He's a good dude. He's got good hands. He doesn't make stupid mistakes. But Conklin is kind of a jag, if we're being honest, and he's a replacement level tight end. Rucker has completely regressed. I don't know what Rucker gives you in either phase. They keep trying to do this like little like screens and dump offs to Rucker, where I'm like, dude, you should have drafted the kid out of Georgia if you wanted to do that stuff, because that's not Rucker's game. And Bates He had. Did you see the highlight reel? The highlight reel of Bates after I think it was the Minnesota game where it was like the worst I've ever seen. So the tight ends are just not.
You just put somebody out there and said, "You go hit guy." And what guy? I'll find someone. Like there was nothing.
Dude.
Like you didn't know the playbook or nothing.
And Ferkser was like, honestly, I was like, when watching some of these guys, I'm like, man, I miss Kenny Yeboah. Like, I miss Nick Bawden. Like, it's been that bad. But I think just fix the personnel. And they went away from it more. They did do more 11 personnel. They did do more motion. Todd Downing was definitely better, in my opinion. It was night and day. Better now. It's just about like red zone and penalties and executing. But before, and we got some explosive plays. I think we had like 8 plays of 10 yards or more or something like that, which we weren't getting before. So I'm feeling pretty confident about the team. Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, like just go beat their ass, man. I'm bummed. I felt like that was our game to have.
It's not Fields.
Is it confirmed?
Russ got announced today. He will start. So
why are they doing that?
I don't know. I think I don't know if there's anyone in the history of the world who can prevent Mike Tomlin from having a winning season. I think it's Russell Wilson. So go do your job.
I'd rather face Wilson because Fields, like, it's just like adds an element to the running game. We can't stop the run. I'm like, Fields would like run for 95 yards and 2 touchdowns on us. So sure, I'll deal with Russell Wilson all day.
Yeah, and Russell Wilson, it favors us because he's afraid to throw an interception. Everyone's like, his interceptions numbers are low. Well, of course, he holds on to the ball.
He doesn't throw over the middle.
Any quarterback in the NFL. He doesn't. He wants to play that street ball, and that's what got Seattle so frustrated with him. They moved on from him. Like it benefits us, and it benefits our pass rush, who is not getting to the quarterback as quickly as we did last year. I think that I want to see Will McDonald embarrass Broderick Jones time and time again. And for all of those that have said we should have drafted Broderick Jones, why did this and this happen? We got screwed. Wait till Sunday night. Reveal yourselves now if you were I wanted Broderick Jones and the Jets got screwed by Belichick, because this guy doesn't know what he's doing on a football field, and they should exploit him every pass rushing opportunity. So enjoy Sunday night. Excuse me. I tried not yelling too much last night, but I can't resist. I do have a little bit of a hoarse voice today. Okay. We're 2-4. We have the Steelers on Sunday night. If you're coaching this offense, how are you looking to attack, and how are you looking to stop or slow down Watt in this pass rush? Because they can get to the quarterback better than anybody. They always do. And now that Hutchinson's out, Watt might be the best in the game. What's your game plan? What are you trying to do to help us move the ball downfield successfully?
I mean, I was thinking about this earlier today, and I'm like, is there a world in which you play Olu as a 6th offensive lineman and block this dude with 2 tackles? Because to me, like, Aaron Rodgers is so cerebral and accurate. Like, I will sacrifice the eligible pass catchers to just make sure he's not getting killed, and trust him to make the right decision. Very seldom has Aaron Rodgers like sat back there from a clean pocket this year and thrown in a ball. It just hasn't really happened. So there's that. You run away from him, run towards him. He kind of kills it either way. But and I think what the Jets did a pretty good job of this a couple of years ago. They played Myles Garrett, and I think it was LaFleur's offense, then, if not mistaken. But they just straight up parked Tyler Conklin next to him the whole time. It was like Fant Conklin. They just double teamed him and said, "You're not beating us," and that worked. So I think that would be the way to go, like overkill on that, because Rodgers is getting hit a lot. And he's popping up, and he takes care of his body. He's a tough dude, but Watt is a scary matchup, and I think you have to you got to give Smith one more shot before you talk about benching him. I think you got to give him at least another 1/2 leash, because just the strength matchup, like TJ Watt bull rushing against rookie Olu, it would probably be pretty ugly. So Tyron Smith, his lateral agility is lower, but he's still strong as shit. So you got to give him another go at it. But I did think about the jumbo package, and other teams are doing that. It's kind of making a comeback this year.
That's what she said.
But yeah, man. Even the Bills, they run it like it's like 16% of the time, which is pretty high to have an extra offensive lineman on the field. So that's I don't know if they do that, but it did cross my mind.
I think Tyron Smith is. I didn't see this coming. Like, I was ecstatic about this guy. You know, it's one of the guys I wanted him. I didn't think it was possible, but I really wanted this guy. And I don't get the fall off. If you're injured, say something. I get it. You're getting almost $1 million a start, but it might be time to just say, hey, why don't you take a week or two, get a mental reset. Let's see what Olu does at left tackle. We know he wasn't overly impressive at right, but at least he's going to move his feet and fucking try. There's times that Tyron looks like me out there where he can't move and he's not even making contact with the guy. They're getting around him clean. So I don't know if John Simpson speaks Pig Latin and they don't communicate to one another. I don't get it, but it looks like there's confusion. It looks like they're like, I can't speak to it.
No,
it's
and he was good last year.
Awful.
Yeah, and he was good last year. And even guys who like Joe, I remember like Jet X Factor was doing film reviews. Like he was good, so he cannot be healthy. And I know that he never practiced a lot in Dallas, but he never practices. Like, how is that really sustainable to have an offensive lineman who doesn't practice the whole season? Yeah, there you go, right there. Like, dude. So I think you're right. And dude, it's not just Keith Carter, because Keith Carter isn't making his knees not go. Keith Carter's not making him not getting beat off the ball like a drum. So, and he's not 38, 39. No, 33 for an offensive tackle isn't crazy old. So it's very strange. That's a very strange one to me, because I felt like the whole offseason, it was how many games is he going to play? But when he plays, he's going to be good. And now it's like he plays every game, but he sucks. So it's very strange.
Yes, and I think that was collective across the board. If we get 12 games from him, we're going to get 12 all-pro level left tackle. Right. Rodgers is not going to be touched. His blind side will be safe. And now we're like, holy fuck, there's no tight end on his side to help Chip. AJ Espinoza just went fucking around him and drilled Rodgers. and what? I don't get this. Like, I yelled out at one point during the game. It was after the Tyron Smith holding penalty that negated the touchdown. I yelled because it was right down in our end zone, and of course you think that they can hear you. And I go, maybe we should start playing these guys in preseason so timing is down on plays like this and you're not getting beat. Start playing guys in the preseason, like Blitz said. And shout out to Blitz, who wrote, produced, and performed the rap to open up the show. Love that song, even if it's a Tuesday. I don't care. The song gets played. It's fantastic. Little breaking news. He is working on another song.
Nice.
We're in the works right now. He sent me a first demo. I don't know the lingo to use. Oh, let me get this. Clancy swinging the big D. D is debit card. Thank you, Clancy. Gifting 5 channel memberships, and they went to Tom Ace, Jet Life, JD, Stack, and Gator. What a collection of names. Clancy, you are the man. Appreciate you, good sir. Very kind of you. Get some memberships going. Have you received one? Pay it forward. Keep it going. But Clancy, that's how many runs the Yankees have? They got 6. I had a joke, Clancy, that Clancy gives a membership for every run that the Yankees get. I thought they had 5. I thought it was 5 too. But that shout out to you, brother. Thank you so much. Now, do we have the ability to start winning football games? Or is it going to be cardiac kids week after week? Do we have the ability to put a Patriot game together time and time again, or no? Well, what do you think? Like, is this our ceiling? Being inconsistent, being erratic, being an average team, or do you think they can actually pull it together? Somebody said something to me at work today, and it's the only male teacher in the entire effing school. And he said, starting to get old Washington Redskin vibes with this team. That, of course, the Deion Sanders, Bruce Smith, who I roasted the fuck out of and hates my guts, and he would run me over with his car if he ever saw me out on the street after yesterday. They went nuts. They brought in Albert Hainsworth. They brought in all these guys, right? The Jets 4, Lavernius Coles. Did we go too deep down that end? Did we not build it enough and just then did we wreck our own plan and bring in too many vets? Mike Williams, Javon Kinlaw, Leaky Fotu, the list goes on and on with guys that we brought in this year. What do you think? Did we go too heavy?
I mean, we brought in some mercenaries, but I think the process, especially with Smith, like it was just about how available he was going to be. So you make some bets, those didn't work out. But I think a lot of it is, if you look at our dead money, like there's just some holes there's been some misses that we had to try to plug some holes. What are you supposed to do? Are you supposed to just rely on Malachi Corley to be your wide receiver 2? Because heading into the year, we didn't even know if Lazard could be wide receiver 2. Now, maybe they did. Who knows? But it seemed like how aggressive they were with Williams and Corley. Wide receiver was a need. And if you look at the money that was doled out to wide receivers, like, good Lord, at least we didn't pay Gabe Davis $17 million a year. At least we didn't pay Calvin Ridley Calvin Ridley making $23 million a year. He's like a no-show. So, okay, it didn't work out with Mike Williams. You didn't spend a lot of money. I am looking at this team, though, and I'm saying, like, we have to start hitting on offensive players outside of, like, the top 45 picks. That is a critique I have, and I know part of that is coaching, but it's like, dude, we have, like, Leonard Taylor, like, UDFA jumps in there. He's got, like, 2 sacks, and Corley is inactive. And, like, Max Mitchell and Carter Warren are, like, 4th string tackles, and Rucker, it's like a tight end 3. But defensively, it's like UDFA Bryce Huff, UDFA Tony Adams, 5th round pick Michael Carter, Quincy Williams, JFM off the scrap heap, right? We got to be able to start churning those guys out on offense, because all of our offensive guys, legitimately, all of our offensive, we have yet to draft, under Joe Douglas, draft an offensive starter that was taken like out of the top 50 picks. I mean, Braylon Allen is good. Don't get me wrong. We'll see with Corley. But I find it hard to believe that Joe Douglas is only good at identifying defensive players. I think coaching has to come into play here. But that's the one thing I'll point out. We got to start being able to do that for sure. Because then you have to buy your way out of those holes when those picks don't work. Oh, I think you're muted, unless that's me.
That was me. I muted it because I brought something up and I wanted to mute it. Good call. Thank you. You bring up Corley. Do you think he gets activated now that the Adams trade is done? Do you think that maybe that was a potential part of it? Because when the Adams rumors got really heavy, all of a sudden Corley's not active for 2 weeks. I don't see how.
I think it was a coincidence.
Sending Gibson out there. And they did it again multiple times yesterday. Mike Williams on the bench on 3rd down, Gibson on the solo side by himself. Now, I get it. Part of this strategy can be, let's take our weakest chip and put it on one of your better corners, and now we can exploit the other side. But I have a very hard time with when we can't pass protect for long and Rodgers is getting drilled. I can't believe they don't have a package of 3, 4, 5 plays where they bring him in and either run a wide receiver screen. You don't have to run a route. You turn, you catch, you go forward. Or a jet sweep with him coming off the edge like a bowling ball. or you fake one and send somebody deeper. You're not even throwing it to him on the wide receiver screen. You do the fake and the go. I don't get it. I'm really confused by this. Part of me hopes there's some movement here. Like Gibson is nothing. I'm scared when he has the ball in a punt return. I hope to God it goes out of the end zone on the kickoff. I don't want to see his little bony ass returning it. The ball hit the ground too many times.
Gibson is nothing. Yeah, no, I can't disagree. Gibson, I mean, I don't think there's.
I'll tell you exactly what Gibson is. I feel that Gibson is a special needs kid that you give the ball to, but they're allowed to hit him. And you're fucking petrified when he's going to get hit.
Oh my God, he's a Make-A-Wish kid.
He's a Make-A-Wish kid who gets the handoff, and you've seen the video. They give it to the one. I think it's an auto-generated video, but they give it to one. He's like, "Oh my God, here he goes!" And boom, like the Old Spice commercial or whatever. The guy gets drilled and hits him. Yes, like in the movie Lucas, Tom Ace. I fucking loved it. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't get why this guy. Here's how I equate him. For years, I said Brett Gardner must have pictures of Boone, Cashman, and the Steinbrenners in compromising positions as the only reason that Brett Gardner had a roster spot. Is Gibson going into that same category? I have no fucking idea why this guy plays. I don't see it. There's never one good thing, dude.
He's like a worse version of Braxton Berrios, pretty much. And the thing about Gibson is, like, why can't Malachi Corley be out there running that cardio? I think he's just not active because of the punt returning, but he doesn't really bring you a lot of juice as a return game. So I'd be fine if they sent Gibson down and Corley came up. And with Corley, like, I understand he has limited route tree and all that stuff, but I think when you draft him, and let's be honest, they did the stuff, the media stuff, like Corley no matter what, and he was our fourth receiver on the board, and it's like, dude, can we wait until if you're going to play him or not until we say all that stuff? But I agree, and now Rodgers obviously wanted him for that reason, because Rodgers likes to throw into the flat as much as any quarterback. He likes to throw into the flat quick and take shots deep down the sideline, because those are right. It's like basketball. You want to shoot 3-pointers and you want dunks, because that you don't want to shoot 18-foot jumpers. Those are not efficient. Yeah. So that's kind of that's Rodgers' game, and Corley could help there. And we never do. Whenever we do the jet motion, we never do a jet pitch. So we're not really using any, like, our horizontal spacing sucks. And I think that could be Corley's game. We're doing a lot of like dump offs to Jeremy Rucker. And look, maybe the Yak King stuff, maybe he won't be able to do it in the NFL. Maybe, but there's only one way to find out. So why the hell not? If Brandon Bates has a package, then Malachi Corley should have a package.
Breaking news, Brandon Bates has a package, because he looked like he did not have a package. He had no balls. He didn't want to hit anybody blocking. Can you confirm he has a package?
He's got at least half a package.
Okay. All right. Little stump. Clancy, I owed you that for the 5 memberships. Thank you. And I got one, which went to the jet stream, to our boy Murdoch. So thank you, Clancy, again, and paying it forward, giving back to the community.
Nice.
How valuable and how missed was Michael Carter last night with all those crossing routes, huh?
Yeah, and you know what? Even to be honest, Chuck Clark, when some of the backup safeties came in, but yeah, Michael Carter is, and even like DJ Reed, like Eccles comes in, we all like Eccles, but DJ Reed's playing out of his mind this year, so that sorely missed for sure. Ashton Davis was pretty rough, but you know what? Who I kind of like is Oliver. I think he's pretty decent in coverage.
Saved the touchdown, right? Saved the touchdown on the one pass to fly. It looked like it was wide open. I'm calling it. I forget it was Kincaid or Knox. I'm like, tight end right up the middle. No one's there. And they hit it, but he was able to come underneath and tip the ball away. Good play by him. As soon as Ashton Davis came in the game, they targeted him on the next 3 pass plays.
Oh,
they went right at him. They said, there's our bitch. The old water boy, where's my bitch? Where's my bitch? There's my bitch.
And he was getting trucked in the run game too.
He was.
Oh my man,
He got run over
that
one
was
time.
bad.
And he got up and he hit the helmet, I guess, to get the beads out. But man, I was like, oh man, he just got trucked. Is he hurt? Yeah, it's a little thin back there. Oh, all right. You know how much I hate this guy's guts. Why the fuck is Jamal Adams posting pictures of himself in a Jet uniform on Instagram today? What the fuck is that?
Yeah, he's got a weird obsession, man. He's got to let it go.
You're on another team. What are you doing?
Yeah,
are you trying
isn't he injured?
Are you trying to trick the dumb? He's always injured. Are you trying to trick the dumb Jets fans who say that the Jets traded for Adams and you're trying to trick them to think that it's you? Like, what's the play? I don't get it. If I'm a Titan and I'm seeing you post pictures of yourself on a former team,
it's weird.
Like, we got to have a discussion, man. Where the fuck's your head at?
Yeah, he's there were still, and I haven't seen it, but there were still like Jet Twitter accounts that were like non-sarcastically suggesting we bring this dude back for like so long. I'm like, oh my gosh, can we just? It's like, no, but no, he's not a rosterable safety anymore. Yeah, he definitely has the obsessed X complex with the Jets for sure. Remember, he was beefing with like, I think he said something bad about Connor Hughes' wife or something. Like he's a mess.
I've been beefing with him. He hasn't been beefing with me. If he saw my tweets, I would be blocked by now. Yeah, he took. He had poor pass defense last year, and Connor tweeted the highlight and said yikes, and Jamal then went on Connor's Twitter, found a picture of his family, was kind enough to Photoshop the daughter out of the picture and just zoom in on the wife and retweeted that and said yikes, and that was the whole
right. I remember it now. Yeah, which respectfully, his wife was pretty. It wasn't a good insult.
Well, I mean, if you're Jamal, it's not a 6'4", 300-pound guy that he might be into. So maybe Jamal's into dudes. Boomtown will twist that into a fantastic. What did we learn later? Any concerns with Aaron Rodgers?
No, just that he stays healthy. I really didn't know what to expect going into the year. We're like, where between like MVP in his 2021? I don't think anyone expected that. And then like completely like washed. Where is he in between there? I think the level of play he's played is good enough for the team. Like, I guess what's the reason? He was the reason, a big factor of why we lost Minnesota. Like that was a really bad game, bad picks, just not good enough. And then between that, he's looked like a 40-year-old Hall of Fame quarterback. Like his brain and his arm still work. I will say, like since he injured the hamstring, the mobility's been different. Because you remember there was a play right before that injury where he pulled it on a read option and like went and got 10 yards and slid down.
Yeah.
And it was like, whoa, like, man, that looked good. And then he got injured and he's been a little gun shy since. And it is limiting to have a quarterback with like almost no mobility. It's like those teams that just get automatic first downs on QB sneaks and stuff like that. So it is a limiting factor to the offense, but what's he got? Like 9 touchdowns and 5 picks, 62% completions. I mean, quarterback play around the league is kind of down. What has he been like? An above average starter, I would say, so far.
Yeah, I think there's been a little inconsistencies, right? I think a little bit of it is working the timing out with new guys, and I think a little bit of it was rust. I think the rust you really saw was the Minnesota game where you saw a really good defense, and he just didn't process it the way I think he normally does. He should have never thrown that pick on the screen. That was very un-Rodgers. Like that was the one where it's like, what the fuck was that? Frank West, he's Jet Santa. He was the king over in London when they were over there. If you saw that on social media at all, me and him were talking, and he goes, Rodgers threw those 3 picks on purpose. He goes, you throw 3 picks, you say the offense don't work, and then you go get Davante Adams, and all's well after that. It's like you lose the battle to win the war. Oh, maybe it took a little bit longer, but I mean, it's right.
You got it, man.
Shut
Yeah.
up, Clancy.
Better late than
Clancy,
never.
thank you for the memberships. I have a conspiracy theory today that I came up with.
Nice.
I dropped it on Jake's show before. Jake's like, I didn't even think of that. I go, any thoughts on the Raiders trading us Davante Adams just hours before Tom Brady's ownership gets approved? And he would have said, no way we're sending help to the Jets. Tom Brady
I
would have
didn't even know that
that.
was happening today.
He got approved around 3, 4 o'clock.
Hmm.
Oh, Boba
Yeah,
Jet.
interesting.
Thank you. Boba Jet just
Nice.
dropped 5. That went to Michael Stipik, Allen, T-Jet 73, AD Pugnut, and some guy, Monsieur Bonze. He's a French Canadian up from the land of Boomtown. Monsieur Bonze. Very good for you to be a member of the channel. Boba Jet, you are the fucking man. Well, Addison, it's not stoner thoughts. It's domino effect. 10 a.m., we get Davante Adams. 3 p.m., Tom Brady's ownership stake in the Raiders gets approved. It's like, ooh, they did that right before that.
Yeah, I think, and they were so they had this trade pretty much squared away before the game. He flew to Jersey last night. Yeah. Because obviously this morning we got a tweet like Davante Adams is in the facility, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure he wasn't hanging out like with Dom C in Central Jersey, so probably this was already done. I think they were just waiting for one more like game check, I guess. I don't know, unless the injury was real. Because if the injury wasn't real, then like why wouldn't you just trade for him last week? I don't know. Who knows? It would have been nice to have him the last couple of games.
It would have. I think. Excuse me. So it was 12:40 our time, which I didn't leave the lot until 12:40. Awful job last night by, I know you're not too familiar with the area. There's an exit. You can get on Route 3 right next to the Giants practice facility where I park. But then you can bend to the left, go out by the gate, get back on a turnpike. We wait for traffic to die down, and we go out that way. They blocked that. And everyone, 12,000 cars, had a fucking funnel into one lane to get it. What is going on in the chat right now, you savages? I love it. Let me drop this. That's for Boba. I didn't get that in before. And now we got Addison getting frisky. Not as frisky as his co-host, Bobby, but still getting frisky. Went to Zachary Berner. King Lowski. Can't say his name quietly. Rob V, who I met yesterday in the parking lot with Nate, Peter, and Joey K. You get a chant. Thank you, sir. Oh. And the plane going over. My fault. And not to be outdone, the great Knob Deep, the man who's already given up on this season, next season, and the entire decade. He has chimed in and said, I will still support the show, Nick, even though if I do not support the team. And his memberships went to Anthony DeRise, Swamp Ranger, Central Florida Jet, Adam, California, and Real 84.
The names always get me, man. Swamp Ranger.
It's a good name.
I used to kill me when I used to watch Green Bean's channel because he says it so casually. He's like, alien faces in the house. What's going on, alien?
Any comment on this from Gator? Buffalo Jets fans, disco microphone picks up all his mouse clicks. Sound like he's playing Candy Crush with a Microsoft mouse from 1997.
Oh, my God. It's just like
a lot of layers to that comment. There's a lot of layers to that comment. We would need an ESPN 30 by 30 to break down this entire comment.
Yeah, we should do a whole. We'll do a whole a show about my microphone next time.
Gator, that's an idea. you do Gator, the behind the scenes announcer, when you do like your whole hand gesture, a breakdown guy, and you do 30 for 30 breakdowns on certain callers calling into the show. And that's like a whole Gator series that you do. I would love to help co-write and help you get that. Oh, been there, done that. Well, it was a fucking great idea then, huh?
Love it, man.
All right. I like when we're on the same page, Gator. It's a scary sign for both of us. Yankees officially over. Yankees beat the Guardians 6-3. They are up 2-0. They now head
Thank
out
you,
to Cleveland.
God, for New York baseball.
Yeah. Yeah. You're a Met fan?
Yes.
Okay.
Met fan.
All right. Well, thanks for joining the show.
There's yeah, it's like I feel like mostly it's Jets and Mets. It's a pretty good. I feel like it's most like 60-40 Jet fans or Met fans opposed to Yankee fans, at least I would say.
I would say yesterday at the game, Yankees had a home game, don't forget, so there might be more people who went to a playoff game than a Monday night game. I would say in terms of people wearing baseball paraphernalia yesterday, I would say it was about 65% Mets fans. That would be Nate. You were there. Maybe you had different interaction where you were, but from what I saw, there was a good Met contingency there. But like I said, Yankees had the home game, so the people may have chosen that first.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna get to bed, brother.
Is that an invite?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Anytime.
cool. Yes, sir. You coming down to any games this year? Last question before you go.
Yeah, I'll go to at least one game. I don't know yet because there's been people who randomly like that I just met through this who will say like, "Hey, I have like tickets for you if you can just get down here." So I'm kind of just waiting on one of those that lines up with my schedule, to be honest. But if that doesn't happen, then I'll just buy I'll buy one like the rest of us. People are very generous, man. It's crazy.
Let me
like
give
people
you.
you just meet online.
They are. They are. I'm getting to that point now where, when we did the home opener, people were very generous with giving me gifts, and I got one here that I do want to show. A friend, Phil Adams, over in London, messaged me last week with an email. This is gonna fuck up with the fucking green screen, but he's like, "Hey, what's your address?" I'm like, "You're in London. What do you want my address?" He's like, "Well," tells me a long story and says that he wasn't able to go to the game, but him and his wife made the trip down there and got a couple things, and they wanted to ship it out. And he sent the towel, the actual towel from the Tottenham Stadium,
that's so cool.
of the game, the NY logo. Yeah, it's real cool. I know my green screen's fucking it up right now, but yeah, very, very appreciative of it. It's pretty cool. It's a nice little. I'll turn the green screen off later. I don't want to hold you up. Sunday night, Colts game. My tailgate. We're doing our pig roast and rodizio. It is by far. There's nonstop, different types of meats coming off the grill the entire time. And I'm so happy. We usually do this at a 1:00 game. And I suggest them, let's do it at the late game because I'd rather eat that food at 5 PM, than 10:00 in the morning. And they're like,
Right.
we got that game. It's a Sunday night. Let's do it. And also,
I didn't even realize the Colts game was Sunday night as well.
It is. December 1st, Seattle. Addison is coming out from Los Angeles. It's his birthday. That's Thanksgiving weekend. I'm sure that might be hard to travel, but if you can make that, those are two games that there's something going on with me. But
cool.
Don't run your whole schedule off me. I know the bet invite thing was just a joke.
All right, man. Yeah, I'll let you know, and I appreciate you guys.
You're the best.
Yeah, man.
We'll talk soon, buddy. Be good. Ladies and gentlemen, the awesome Buffalo Jet fan. Jeremy and I used to do, for those of you back when I was less than 100 subscribers. Oh, fucking Gator with my looks again, you son of a bitch. We had Buffalo Jet fan on, and he had like maybe 70 subs. And he came on with me, Adam, Gunny, Jeremy, back when we were all like baby stages of show. None of us even had like 500 subscribers yet. And then all of a sudden, 2 weeks later, Buffalo Jet fan was at like 1,500 because he just started tweeting and making all these little videos and doing the shorts. And all of a sudden, boom, he blew up. So it was awesome to see someone who we literally had him on the show for the first time, and it was brand new, and there was no chalkboard yet behind him, nothing. Oh, Tom, it was a wild time. But yeah, it was really cool to watch him blossom and grow into what he is now. So that's one of my good friends who, from early on when I got into this, one of the guys who I just connected with, and you know, you guys see him on Twitter. You know, his sense of humor is right up my alley. He's much better with the tweeting. He's the best. I do owe one of these for all the action that went on. Thank you again to Boba, Clancy, Knob, Addison. You guys are fantastic. I'm waiting for it. That's what she said. I gifted one went to R&R. R&R. And Gator, I gotta wear the white. I gotta wear the gray. All of my shirts are green from this fucking team. And of course, the green screen has to be green. So I can't even wear my green. Any shirt I buy now, the kids, my birthday's Friday. I tell the kids, get me a green shirt. Don't get me a green shirt. Got to be gray, got to be white. When I got Jake, when I gifted Jay Quest the membership on Jake's channel, I was able to get a free. I was like, give me a white T-shirt. So everything's got to be white, or else I disappear and you're making fun of me. It's why I bought a white hat. I had the green one and it was disappearing. Bastard. Damn, don't you have to go to bed? Said Nick, I don't wear jerseys, Twisted. You should know that. I do not do jerseys. Do not, I say. I tell you what we are going to do. It's a big day. It is a very big day. We lost, but it doesn't feel that way. I want to hear from you. No, not you. The rest of you. If I said no, not you, and you thought, does he mean me? He does. Yeah, no man's name on my back. Just a Jet name on the front. How many games can we afford to lose now? I don't think we can afford to lose this week. In a 17-game season, I don't think there's a set number. Some years, 8 and 9 gets you a division win. Other years, 11 and 5, and you miss the playoffs. Back on the 16-game schedule. Patriots went 11-5 that year with Matt Castle. Didn't make the playoffs. So you never know. You never know what is going to happen. You never know what the benchmark is going to be. But you got to beat teams that you can lose tiebreakers to. And the Steelers, wild card, you have to win this game. You got to beat the Steelers. You got to beat the Texans. You got to beat the Colts. And you should beat the Cardinals and the Patriots. And then you should beat Seattle. And then you should beat the Rams. And then you should beat Jacksonville. And then you should beat Buffalo. And then you should beat Miami. And you're 13-4. Just like Adirondack Flying Guy said. I don't think there's any reason we can't get this going. One other thing I want to talk about before you guys start clicking in And there's 55 of you watching right now. Thank you for doing that. If you're new here, subscribe. If you haven't, why? If you have, please like the show, like the stream, tell your friends about it, share it. Gator, if you didn't make that great fucking video yesterday, I would be borderline sending you to the shadow realm right now. But I do want to play something. I wonder how this is going to come out. I do want to play. For those that don't know, yesterday was at Good Morning America. I got a call on Friday. Let's see. Can we do this here? Can we play this? It's a short. Yes, we can. We're going to pause you. Oh, all right. Old man interneting. You guys can all make fun of me later. All right. Let's see. Oh, we can do this because we did it the night with Denmark Andy when we watched it over. I went live from the parking lot yesterday morning during a break during Good Morning America. And Gator, who is ripping the shit out of me tonight for my looks, my shirt, my beard, everything, was so kind and gracious enough. I know he doesn't seem that way in the chat, but he actually is that way. And he was very kind to put this stream together. I know. Free Denmark Andy. I know, everyone. I know your love. Here we go. Why won't you work? That's what she said. Promote the shirt. Play and mute. It's a cool little event here that Good Morning America's doing. They're getting ready to go back on air. We got Frank West here right now. Give me a prediction for tonight, Frank.
Jets 165, Bills -12.
We got Tailgate Joe. Good Morning America. Fan of the year. Liz Mueller here. Liz, say what's up. We're live on YouTube right now.
What is up, everybody?
I'm trying to get Bart Scott right now. Bart, you want to say what's up to everybody?
You're live on your YouTube.
Proud NYJ fan, man.
Okay.
How you doing?
Listen, I appreciate the plug. You know what I'm saying? Way to grow your platform, man.
That's it, man. Bart, can I get a can't wait?
Man, I already get the can't wait. I'm can't wait it out, man. You gotta wait.
I couldn't wait to talk to Bart Scott. I'm excited.
How's everybody doing today?
What are you doing? You doing shots already over here? We got Gotham City crew. We got Claudio. We're live on YouTube right now. Who fires their coach and can still get in first place in the same week? It's that team right there. Here with ABC. We're on my YouTube channel.
What's going on?
I got Bart Scott heckling me over here.
You only gonna get 2 more phones.
Come on, Bart. Why are you being like that, Bart? Bart Scott heckling me. I usually do the heckling. We're live from the stadium parking lot. Shout out to Bart Scott. Shout out to Bart. Bart was good. Bart even being on the side and heckling me. Tremendous. Very good. I hope I run into Bart again. That was nice. And let me just check something real quick. Screw you, Bart. It's been 8 subs since yesterday. And new milestone, 1,100 subs was just hit during this stream. Thank you, everybody. Thank you to you guys. Thank you for everyone. Gentlemen and ladies, boys and girls, children of all ages, old Jets fans, non-Jets fans. Appreciate all of you. You guys are really, really awesome. And I am humbled that you take the time to listen to my dumb ass speak and all the craziness and fun that goes on here. It's awesome. So now, today, the march to 1,200 starts. Thank you very much. And looking forward to bringing you guys entertainment, fun, laughter, knowledge, wisdom, and some of the finest nine-toe entertainment you will find anywhere on the internet. Thanks, guys. You're the best. I really love you guys. Even the hecklers. Because as you see, as I'm getting heckled by Bart Scott, I appreciate a good heckle. I don't know if Bruce Smith does. isn't Bruce Smith? Did you guys? Is there anyone here who hasn't seen that yet? I don't think I posted that on YouTube, so there might be a lot of you that didn't see that. I don't think I have Instagram on here. All right. Let me send this to Peter. Give me 1 second. Old man interneting, I know. Boom. Send. Nope. Wrong one. Boom. Boom. Send. Boom. Send. Sorry, Peter, if you're watching. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to share a little more. So now, Good Morning America yesterday had a super fan thing. Oh, fuck you, Gator. I don't care how dirty my clothes are, if they're wrinkled going to work. I will never do laundry again during the show. I will miss out on my kids' sporting games to sit home and do laundry. I will never do it during the show again. You gave me PTJD. PTLD, post-traumatic laundry disorder. Well, Peter, you were the last one to message me, so I thought it'd be easier to do this. So here we go.
Hey, Bruce, they need you to stand further out that way, wide right.
Again, there's always one.
Bruce, you wrecked a lot of games in my childhood, man.
And then he goes, oh, I still could wreck one more. Old grumpy fuck. So now I wasn't done.
Hey, Bruce, let's see the Super Bowl ring.
So now after that, he's a little upset. He comes over to some of the Jet fans, and I didn't record this one. And I was Texas. I was right on the border. I had all the Buffalo fans to me on this side. I'm the worst guy to put next to the Buffalo fans. I was ripping them to shreds. Their comebacks were awful. Now, I say to him, I go, Bruce, I'm going to say something to unite everybody. We loved watching you hit Dan Marino. He got a little bit of a chuckle, but when he saw that it was me, he didn't allow himself to laugh and enjoy my comment because it was already in his brain. I was already an asshole. But I didn't want him to be alone because I think he was an asshole too. The only time he smiled was when the camera was on him. So now, it's break time. They tell us we're done. You guys saw when I did the live. Bruce Smith was sitting down, didn't want to interact with anyone. Bart Scott's playing bad go. He's doing interviews, coming on my show. Bruce Smith sat there. Miserable. People are taking pictures with him. I go, hey, Bruce, can I get a picture? He goes, sure. Turns around, goes, oh, you were the one talking. And he puts his hand into my ribs and goes to push me away. And I didn't move. I go, come on, dude, it's all in good fun. He goes, man, take your damn picture. And he was pissed. He was pissed. Come on, stupid mouse, work. And then after he did it, he went like this. Man, take your damn picture. And put on a fake smile. So that's me heckling, not getting pushed out of the way, and then a photo with the man who hates my fucking guts. Tell me that's not fantastic. I send the video to Green Bean and Jeremy. Jeremy calls me. He goes, what the fuck is wrong with you? He goes, you got balls of steel. He's like, I couldn't imagine seeing somebody that size and talking shit to them. I was like, dude, that's the best part of me is the shit talk. Here's me and Bart Scott. Oh, Tom. I would never put my hat on a Bills fan or Bills player. One of the Bills fans asked him, they're like, Bruce, did you put up he has a quarterback tombstones of every quarterback that he sacked in his career. And at his house for Halloween, they put up the tombstones in the yard for every quarterback he ever sacked. And he'll go and then like do something with it and like wreck them or whatever. Excuse me. Appreciate it, Wild Wave. You don't have to speak so highly about me. I'm just a regular guy, man. You don't have to call me a legend. Stretched U-neck? What the fuck you talk about? It's a beautiful fucking circular. What do you mean a stretched U-neck, Clancy? Where's the U-neck? It's a perfect circle. There's no U-neck here. What are we talking about? What are we discussing? Oh. Is it? It's not a V-neck either. What are you talking about? Where's the V-neck? Or U-neck? I don't get it. It's funny if it's true. Thank you, Dave. Props to the Smith interaction. Big dude confrontation. Bruce Smith looks small. And he dresses like it's still the 1980s with a fucking turtleneck. Dude, where's your fucking DeLorean, dude? You're wearing a turtleneck. Oh, his jacket. He's wearing his NFL 100 team jacket, okay? After I said, "Where's your Super Bowl rings?" I stopped the recording. He turns and he points to the jacket. And I'm like, big deal. There's 100 of those. You got 0 rings, dude. And the Buffalo fans were, "Argh." There was a lady who tried defending him. Old white lady. Not good at shit talk at all. Good at smelling like shit. Very, very awful smelling woman. She comes over and says, "I just want to tell you that it was so good being here last year, watching all these grown men cry when your quarterback got hurt." I go, "I'm making fun of you losing a game, and your rebuttal is to talk about somebody getting injured? And you all were crying." I go, "How'd you feel when DeMar Hamlin died?" Ah! She walked away from me. Like, you don't make fun of an injury. What's wrong with you? How did you feel? You cried. They stopped the game. But we still beat you. How much does that suck? We win the last 2 games in that stadium with Zach Wilson at quarterback. But we can't win yesterday. All right. Now, did I pin the link? I thought I pinned the link. Nobody's chimed in yet. We acquired Davante Adams. Davante works his contract to open up space. And I want to hear from you guys. You've heard from me. You've heard from the Buffalo Jet fan. You've had your fun making fun of me in the chat. All right, it's there. I do, Clancy. I do love it. And now that it's getting cold, I love it even more. That's a heavy winter t-shirt, and I would rock it in the summer. I tell you what, man. Shout out to Tom Ace. I had that shirt on yesterday. I put the shirt that Tom Ace got me on, the long sleeve shirt for the parking lot. And then I put on the green hoodie with the new Jet logo on it that I got in the winter. That was fantastic. I was so warm yesterday. Even with that wind ripping at 30 miles an hour, man, I felt great. My hands got cold. I used to never get cold. Back in the day, 20 years ago, I go in that stadium shorts and a t-shirt. Oh, Tom, and I had the shorts on, but I put the jeans over them. My ass was warm yesterday. No, Love Bites. That was the morning. That was Good Morning America, not at the game last night. At the game last night, I was bundled up. I'm diabetic, man, and now I get slightly bit cold. It's bad. It's rough. It's a complete 180 for me. Who's somebody who, like I said, would never get cold. You did twice. I think twice you've seen me in that shirt. Very good. Very good. I did show up in the shorts and a t-shirt. Yeah. Thank you, Mo. Thank you. Kim, were you at the game? If you were at the game and didn't meet up with me, I'm gonna yell at you. Unless, of course, you're with your husband and you're like, we can't go by this guy because you'll never let me watch a show anymore because he's so fucking awesome. Then I understand. Shame, Kim. Shame. But I understand. You got to keep the marriage together. Respect. All right. What are we doing here, folks? You guys always want call-ins. You love call-ins. We're talking Jets. It's a big day. Nobody's clicking in. Like, what are we doing? Gator, I will do everything in my power to make sure you leave that game -1 toe. You won't know when. You won't know where. You won't know by who. You won't know how. But it's coming. And I did break some news today on Bobby's channel. I said that I'm trying to convince you for me and you to go as Bobby and Mike on Halloween. That should be our costumes. Bobby asked immediately if you were mad at him. I'm like, Bobby, why would Gator be mad at you? What did you ever do to him? He's like, I don't know. All right. I don't know either. But I think me and you as Bobby and Mike would be some great, great material. Oh, fuck yeah. All right. I'm going as Goober. Nice. Oh, that's going to be so good. Watching Bobby try to storm off and walk away. Or fight you. It's one or the other. And I'm down for both. Oh, Bobby keeps asking me for like a ride and stuff, Metro. I tell him, I'm like, I'm not doing anything to help you if you don't bring the orange chair. Yes. For those of you who don't know, Clancy just left his house and he's on his way to the stadium last night. Oh, this is Rob V. Passing times right now. All right. Nobody's coming in to talk Jets. I'm going to play a video and pee, and I will be back. And if you need proof, Gator, that I'm not touching my laundry, I will provide proof. Ladies and gentlemen, there are very few people in this world with the charisma, the intelligence, the talent as this guy right here and me.
There's been a lot of you out there asking about who he be. Well, He's about to let you know.
He's Charles.
This rap is so hot, you'll play it on a loop. You'll never get the recipe for chicken noodle soup. Super a spider or even a bat. Got nothing on me or Bobby with his hat. Lady's gotta be a 10 if I'm gonna date her. Shout out to my homie, his name is Gator. I'm Charles.
To all you other guys trying to rap on Jake's show, got nothing on this guy and his flow.
He's Charles.
These bars be so hot, I'll get invited on Fallon. You know who won't? That hater, Alan. My comic book and movie takes are so hot and wild. Since my last verse, Johnny had another child. My YouTube is blowing up and I'm becoming a star. Like takes are fresh like the clothes on VR. I'm Charles.
Jets, Yankees, comics, hip-hop. Nobody compares when it comes to him.
He's Charles.
I see everyone on Jake's show trying to prop bars. I'm the only one jumping over cars. Blowski calls the show and he's always really loud. Shout out to Nick, you know he'd be proud. I don't like Zach or his family, they're Mormon. First name Charles, last name Gorman. I'm Charles, motherfucker.
You just witnessed the debut of a proud New York Jet fan and a Jake Asman production. Brought to you by the man, the myth, the legend himself.
I'm Charles.
Wow, Scott. No, Hank died a long time ago. A long time ago. A lot of those whack Packers did. But somehow Howard and his awfulness now are still kicking. Thank you, Mo. It's the nicest thing Mo said all night. I don't know. I'll message him tomorrow. He has liked or commented, I think, once in the Discord. I did see his name pop up in there over the weekend. Oh, maybe he just doesn't like the losing streak. Got to win a game for Charles to show up. I like it, though. I like it. Keep them wanting more. Rick. This isn't high pitch. This is Kelly Clarkson. Awesome. Awesome. Shout out to Gator who made this awesome background with me and the boy, Mr. Rogers, and Mr. Charles. Right there, Charles. Who's high pitch? Kim, where's your seats? If you said it already and I missed it, forgive me. Where's your seats and where do you usually park? Oh, Eric, the actor. All right, fine, Kim. I was just trying to make conversation. I ask everyone where they seat. Do not answer. Do not answer, Kim. I do not want to know now. I do not care. Officially dead to me, Kimberly. Officially dead. Stop it. I was in 123, row 34 last night. I was in 123, row 34. Oh, you're a bastard. You knew I was there. Damn it. Now you got me. Son of a bitch. Oh, wait. You are in 123, row 11? Damn, I was 123, row 34. Small world. Look at that, Kim. All right. Nobody's clicking in. Not a single one of you are clicking in on StreamYard. Very good, Addison. Very good. That actually made me belly laugh, dude. Was that the person walking by like this? Was your husband the random guy who shouldered me walking by? Oh, that's good stuff. Gator, Connor Rogers on Young Connor's show did his 4 people like to have dinner with. One was Howard Stern. Who are the other 3? I like that question though. Who are the other 3? All right. If nobody wants to click in, I think we're going to call it a night. Hugh Jackman. Interesting. Oh, you give me 90s Howard. I'll go tell 90s Howard, hey, you're not going to believe what you turn into. Oh, Matthew, I saw you earlier on ask if you're gifted a membership, it expires after 30 days. That's why you lost it. So now it's just random luck, or you can join the channel on your own. But oh man, the Howardy show is great. When AJ Benza and Stuttering John, was it AJ Benza and Stuttering John, or was it who did AJ go after? AJ Benza and Stuttering John, right? That was the 2 that fought. Help me out here. All right, thank you. Yeah, look at you, Clancy. I thought so. I'll never forget that day on radio. Howard stayed on till like almost noon. And then the E team would come in and update him. It was like, yeah, we're getting that show on tonight. It will be on tonight. And that was like the biggest thing to hit back then. Yes, there it is. John kept prank calling him. It is, man. It's so sad, right? Because I'm 45. I got into Stern with my dad, watching, like driving around with him in the morning. During the summer, really. And excuse me. Watching E or the Channel 9 show. My introduction to Howard Stern was the Channel 9 show. WWOR in New York, Channel 9. And it was weird to watch a guy who bucked the system, who fought against everything that he now stands for and has become. It's sad. It's pathetic. Not as sad and pathetic as my guest. Hey, buddy. Well, how about that intro? Top notch. Turn your volume up. I don't have audio, really. No. It's very, very faint. Like there's. I'll wait forever for you. No, it's I mean, I can hear you, but you are like, hold your breath, very faint, like you're 30 feet away from the phone.
Let me leave and come back in.
Good night, Rick. Oh wow. Oh well, that was Bongo Fiesta. That was great. Hey,
Any better?
no, it's very, very faint.
How about now?
There you go. Welcome to the show, Gator.
All right, I'm bailing on the stupid headphones. What do you say, buddy?
Nothing, man. How are you? How are you feeling today with the trade acquisition? And then immediately, the way trades are usually done in the NFL is a new deal or cap relief for the team who just traded for you. What's your thoughts on Davante? And do you think that the Jets learned anything from the Hassan Reddick situation?
I mean, there's a lot to absorb. I mean, I still can't get over the loss last night. It's like a whirlwind. Everything that happened today was almost like, it, you start to forget about what happened last night. But last night was so devastating that today's news kind of softened it a bit. And that's great and all, but like we still embarrassed ourselves again, like we always do, with the exception of very few games, whether it be the butt fumble or whatever, but we always seem to embarrass ourselves on national television, and it's frustrating. I prefer when we're buried at buried at 1 o'clock with all the other games, like the Denver game where we could just kind of sneak in, look like shit, and then sneak out. But you can't do that when you play on Monday night and Thursday night and freaking Sunday morning at 9:30, and it's like, and then of course Sunday night we go on the big stage again, and we need another one of those New England games where people wake up Friday morning like, holy shit, the Jets are real, they're for real. We need more of those because I'm just tired of it. So yeah, I mean the Davante news drops and we're all just like, really? Okay, great. But I wasn't over it, you know. I still don't really understand his contract. I mean, I guess we're giving him like 11 or 12 million this year, and then uh, the other 2 years are sort of like we can cut him or whatever. But I guess they're going to work out an extended deal. So until we hear the extended deal, can we even really judge that?
Yeah. From what I read and what I saw with it, and I went from one job to the other. I was on Bobby's show for a bit, so I had to do a lot of deep diving. But from my understanding from the text and everything that I got, the cap is lowered by 3 point something for this year, which opens up a little bit extra money for them in case they want to do a move or in case they want to extend somebody or give somebody some extra money this year. Who his agent, Drew Rosenhaus, Reddick's agent, Drew Rosenhaus, said we're not expecting to be the top paid pass rusher. That's not a stipulation on our end. Now, it gives you short-term relief, whatever. Maybe they bonused him and gave him some money up front. Nothing's guaranteed after this year. So they do have time to work on that. It's 36 million, I think, the next 2 years, 36 and 34 million. It's some crazy, crazy numbers. So you're here, you're with your buddy, and if you want to play more, if Rodgers says, I'm in, you're in, let's go, then you can work that out down the road. But there's no guaranteed money after this year, so you're not on the book for anything. What's up?
Let me ask you this. I thought Rodgers had come to us with a 2-year contract? Do we have to redo his contract, or has it been redone, and is he extended into next year and the year after?
He redid his contract to take a $35 million pay cut. But in order to do that, they had to add years to it. So he's under contract for a while. I don't know his contract in depth. I've just been so focused on him getting healthy and playing that I haven't looked at what the contract numbers are. I mean, I could pull it up now. But it's good that they're kind of in sync, right? They can be together. Where's this from? I hate these ads that you get texted. Let me pull up Spell Track now.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot for the typical fan to absorb. Fans really, for the most part, don't really think about or care about money. But the ones that are as dug in as the folks that watch you and the other shows, they know that when it comes time to wrap up your year and get into the next year, that you get hit with all of these, well, this guy's contract's up, that guy contract's up, you got to sign this guy, you have to have draft capital and all that. So it makes it all complicated, even though some people say that the salary cap isn't real. But I think it is to an extent. I mean, it has to be, right? I mean,
so the notes on Rodgers' contract, I got that one up first. $75 million guaranteed, 2023 salary, roster bonus, 2024 salary, option bonus. 23 to 24, all right, no tag provision, full no trade clause. 2024 option bonus, $35 million. Obviously, we picked that up. Guaranteed, treated as a signing bonus. 2025 option bonus, $35 million, must be exercised before the 2025 regular season. 26 to 28 years automatically void. So his cap hit for next year would only be $17 million. Or this year it's $17 million. Next year it'd be $23 million. Dead cap, if he's not on the team next year, is $49 million. So I think it's everyone's best interest to get him in sync.
I wonder if the point at which Rodgers drops out, if that's going to be like a dead year for us, if we're just going to be so behind, so in the shitter in terms of our cap space, if we have to take that hit the year after he drops out.
There's void years. I'm not sure how the void years work. In 2026, it's in orange, which is different, and says $35 million dead cap in 2026. I'm not sure the specifics of this contract. Average size 50. I'd honestly have to ask somebody a little more in depth with the contracts than I am, to be completely honest with you. Dom C is very good at that, knowing what is fluff and fake and what's the real numbers and dollars are.
And it's funny, I know we got Davante for Aaron, but it would seem that wide receiver is not one of our pressing needs compared to like safety, an edge rusher. I mean, at this point, some protection for Rodgers. I mean, it seems like, I mean, it's great to get all excited about Davante, and it should make at that position make the rich richer, but really doesn't feel like this glaring need, right?
I could give you a little bit of pushback on that. If you look at the end of the Viking game, the wrong route was run by Garrett Wilson. I'm sorry, the Bronco game. Wilson doesn't run the 12-yard in. Rodgers almost throws an interception to the safety. The next play, Gibson is on the left. never runs the back shoulder route. Davante would have caught that easily and got out of bounds. They could do that route in their sleep. We have to settle for a longer field goal, right? So running the wrong routes there cost us essentially, right? The defense only gave up 10 points. Now you go to yesterday, and I mean, we have Davante Adams. We win yesterday. There's no doubt in my mind. We win because we're not settling for 4 field goals. We'll be efficient. We'll be better in the red zone. Their ability to just put him out there, go 2 tight ends, go Braylon in the backfield and have him out on an island one-on-one, we're going to score a touchdown on one of those 4 drives. So
right, but Rodgers
might not be the greatest need, but the acquisition, I think, makes us and takes us to another level where we're more efficient as an offense. We're getting more 7s instead of attempts at 3s. And I think overall it makes the team better, even though it might not be the greatest need.
But my brush back to you on that is when we got Mike Williams, we all sat back and said, wow, we are stacked at wide receiver. Okay. We've got a number 1 in Garrett Wilson, and we've got probably the best number 2 that's out there. Okay. That isn't a number 1. And we still have Lazard, and we have the Yak King coming in and all this stuff. Like, I think we all kind of felt really good about it, right? So now we got Davante Adams. Great. If he was there last night, Rodgers is still going to get clobbered and hit the ground as many times as he did, like he did the week before when he was crawling like like we all thought his season was over at that moment when he hit the ground and he it looked like he was not getting up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, those are the things that worry me most. You know, it's like you look at these teams that tend to, with the exception of Patrick Mahomes, who seems to get out of any situation. You know, most of these quarterbacks, they're protected, and those are the ones that seem to get the job done. But man, I just fear that regardless of Davante Adams, if Rodgers gets hurt, man, I don't know. I just don't. I think the season will be over if we can't protect this poor guy.
Agreed. I think you've acquired everyone you can acquire on the offensive line.
Yeah.
Having another dog, an elite weapon to pair with Garrett, that scares you. That has to keep an extra. You have the choice now. If we blitz, they're going to burn us because these guys, Wilson and Adams, can beat you in man-to-man press coverage. Lazard doesn't. Mike Williams is a contested throw. Most of Lazard's catches are contested throws because there's no separation.
Dude, did you see that catch that Lazard made? That was like
the back shoulder, like behind the linebacker's ass or whatever it was, like the corner there.
Oh,
that was more impressive than the Hail Mary, in my opinion. I said that immediately. How did he catch it?
And that was the ball that was thrown to him in the end zone. Was it the week before or the week before that? Remember the ball that was thrown to him in the end zone? It was right in that same spot, but he didn't catch it. Remember?
I didn't see much. I was coaching for the Minnesota game. I missed.
Okay.
I only saw the good highlights. I didn't see every play.
He had that exact same ball thrown to him, threaded the needle between two defenders, and it hit him right in the breadbasket, and he dropped it. That would have won us the game.
It's that play is not being that throw yesterday is not being talked about enough. I think that's one of those throws that you just have to shrug and look at. How the fuck is that even possible to put there?
Yeah, I mean, I got to say, Lazard, for his handful of horrible mistakes, he certainly has made up for it with some spectacular catches in clutch times. At least this season.
Jay Quest says, Nick, we both knew before the season that Clemens was trash. How the fuck did the Jets not see this?
I wish we could cover.
I don't know. He does something that drives me nuts. He lines up in a wide 9. He's not a speed rusher. Why the fuck are you putting him in a wide 9? That's the first thing. Secondly, he goes and then he hops and then goes again. What the fuck is that? You think people think you're going to jump over them and they're going to stand up and then you're able to get low and go by them? What the fuck is the hop?
Oh,
go watch
trash.
You want to get aggravated? Man. Go watch Michael Clemens hop in his pass rush. It's very frustrating. It's aggravating. It's pathetic. I don't
You
know
know,
how this guy is out there. Why are you putting him in a wide 9? Put him on the tackle where you're not opening up 6 yards. You know why teams run off the tackle so successfully against us? Because we have our D tackle lined up in the A gap. And then 6, 7 yards later is our defensive end 2, 3 yards outside of the tackle. You're just inviting to easy kick out block, guard down blocks on the D tackle, huge hole to run through. It's crazy that they keep doing this, even though 49ers gashed him in the run the entire game.
I mean,
Denver,
has he done anything positive, this guy?
he carried a cool bat once in July.
You know, he's Tim Boyle to me. Like, I looked at Tim Boyle when they brought him in, and I'm like, why is he on a roster? Like, are you telling me that there isn't like a player in the Canadian League that's like the best at his position that we could bring in that wouldn't be better than him?
Yeah.
And I was saying the same thing about Tim Boyle. I'm like, isn't there like a quarterback in some like prison league that's like the best quarterback in the prison league that we could put in instead of Tim Boyle? Like, why is he on a roster?
I don't know.
Man, that game last night, you know what? It was the most important game that the Jets have played in, I don't know, more than 4 years. Like, in terms of like the meaning of a win versus the meaning of a loss. I can't remember a more important game than last night. To see it go down like that, where we were clearly the better team.
Yeah.
But we lost. I'm not saying we were the better team against Minnesota, but we could have beat Minnesota. We weren't necessarily the better team on the field. We were certainly the better team on the field against Denver. But I think last night there was no contest. We were the better team, and we just stupidly lost that game.
Yeah, and I don't think Buffalo is very good. I don't. I just think that we gave a game away, and eventually you have to stop giving, and you have to start taking games you're not supposed to win. When you have to start putting teams away like you did the Patriot game, and it can't be once every 6 games you do that. That's just a disappointing failed season. They got to get it together. They got to figure it out, and
I mean, Buffalo had no wide receivers. They have no running back, right? Josh Allen beat us on his feet. But, like, where are their skill position players? I mean, how do they even compete with us? You look at our roster, I'm like, we've got guys that should be in the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
You know, like a dozen or so that could make the Pro Bowl if they just play up to their potential. And who does Buffalo have?
They got Josh Allen. And Mo Dean asks, how does the shower cap players wearing their helmets protect their heads? It's a Guardian cap. My son's football program started wearing them in 2019 for practices. They're mandatory for Pop Warner for practices. You have the option now, just like the NFL, to wear it for a game. And it's got additional padding. It's probably about 3/4 of an inch thick, padded all around the helmet. And it sustains and takes on the impact of hits to the head to lessen it before it gets to the head. So it's like 30%. It decreases the chances of concussions by 30%. So,
it's a good idea.
I don't know why they just can't fucking build them into the helmet.
Yeah.
Like, if you can make a helmet more padded, do it. Like,
I think
to me, I'm not a scientist, but
yeah, they should let Tua wear like a bedroom mattress and just duct tape a bed mattress to his head. They should allow that.
I like it. And then you could sell more advertising with whatever mattress company wins the bid. It's all about making money, right, NFL? There you go.
That's right.
The official mattress helmet head of the NFL.
Yeah.
While Gator and I are talking, let's start. What did we learn? We're going to start wrapping up.
Yeah. The legend himself, the great Canadian Should start his own YouTube channel. Like you got Buffalo Jet fan, you could have Canadian Jet fan, or what else?
Who would watch that though?
I don't know. It's a good
I
question.
think it's the Winnipeg Jets. They probably have a Canadian Jet fan already.
And who would do what do we learn today for his channel if he couldn't do it?
Oh, Bobby. Definitely.
Hmm.
Bobby would have to take the notes and remember.
Hmm.
Wait, they're not Winnipeg Jets anymore, Rob? I'm going back to my childhood.
Ottawa Jet fan. Okay.
Did Winnipeg move to Ottawa?
OJF.
I thought it was the Ottawa Senators. Am I? All right, boom. I need a ruling here. You're my resident hockey guy. Oh, because he's from Ottawa. I got you. All right, there we go. Hank G, our vice president of Canadian operations. They're still in Winnipeg. Okay. All right, boom. I learned that I still know some of the Canadian hockey teams. But awesome. All right, boom. If no one else wants to play, they suck. It's time to show everyone. Oh, here we go. There you go, Beth Page, Chris. That's what we're looking for. I learned that Bates has half a package. Modine thought that Hank G was Wayne Gretzky hanging out with us. Kim learned that I was in section 123, and I learned that Kim was in section 123. MC Mays learned that all Jets fans today are blah about Adams. All Jets fans today are blah about Adams today after last night's kick in the nuts. It's fair.
True that.
Very fair. All right, boom. Drop it, my friend. I always love when he does this. Last week, I brought up that I called for the week before the Minnesota game. I called that if Robert Saleh doesn't win this game, he needs to be fired and not even allowed back on the plane to like America. And I was like, boom, if you could find that, man, that would be great. Less than 5 minutes. He sends me the link, 22:10 for the minute marker. I'm like, holy shit. What are we like? It's just remarkable. He's just amazing with all this. Love Bites learned that Gator can play a Jets chaos character without much effort. Nice.
I was watching a little bit of Jets chaos during the game last night, and I think he lives in Seattle. Maybe
he's in Sacramento.
Sacramento. Okay. He yells like he's at the game. I don't know if he's in a house or an apartment, but like he shouts out like he's at the game, like at that volume. I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. I wouldn't do that.
He goes nuts.
Yeah.
Boomtown learned Nick's glasses are just a prop. Nick is a fluffer, but he doesn't fluff Buffalo Jet fan. Big D equals debit card. Shout out to Clancy for the membership. In a school filled with all women teachers, Nick decided to talk to the one male teacher. Valid. Bonus. Gibson has a bony ass. According to Nick, Gibson is like a Make-A-Wish kid. Bates has at least half a package. Jamal Adams type 6'4", 300-pound men. Thank God I'm only 6'3". Mr. Bonesy is a French Canadian. Monsieur Bonze is a French Canadian. Forgive me. Double bonus. Buffalo Jet fan may or may not have invited Nick to join him in bed tonight. Jets 165, Bill -12 is a hell of a score prediction. Post-traumatic laundry disorder is real and should be taken seriously. It is. It's very real. Triple bonus. Bruce Smith doesn't own a DeLorean. Heavy winter T-shirts are apparently a thing. Nick will wait forever for Gator.
I don't know what that means.
Nick, I learned that Nick and Buffalo Jet fan go way back on YouTube. Yeah, early days, man. Early early days. You go back and watch the Friday night hangouts from 3 years ago, more than 3 years ago now, early 2021. You'll see. I don't know if it was my channel or Jeremy's channel. I think we alternated doing the Friday night hangout back then. Tom learned that Betty is a 10 and Charles would date her. And I learned one other thing. I am very grateful for your friendship and the fantastic turnaround and the great work that you did on that compilation video from the parking lot yesterday. Thank you.
You're welcome, man. You're
the man.
Every time you ask me for something, you're one of the few that I will stop what I'm doing and help out because you're one of my favorites, man. I appreciate you.
Thank you, man. That means a lot to me, considering the amount of requests that I'm aware of that you get, and I'm probably sure there's a lot more I'm not aware of. That means the world to me. Thank you.
I've had to back off the favors a bit. I spread myself a little thin.
I'm honored. I'm honored. I don't even know what to say to that. I'm speechless. I usually don't. You know me. I talk all day. I don't get speechless. That was very kind.
You're a good one, man.
Thank you, buddy. Young dumbass Matthew Smith learned that he has to buy his own membership. That's probably not the way to get him to buy one, but I always tease him for being young and dumb.
I was gifted a membership, by the way, and I was going to thank whoever it was, but then I saw Alan got one too, and I didn't feel very special anymore.
I think it was Clancy. I think that went off in Clancy's round, I believe.
Okay.
I think that was the first round, right? Am I correct with that? Oh, my throat.
Well, thank you, whoever gave me that membership. I appreciate it. But Alan shouldn't be getting anything for free. He gives us. He did
give 10 memberships on here last week. He did give 10 memberships on here last week. Yes, he did.
Right. He's come out of it. As soon as Robert Saleh got fired, he stuck.
It may have been that night. It may have been that night.
Out of the turtle shell and started snapping a little bit. It's like, okay, his confidence is, has gone off the charts, I think.
Yeah. Oh, Tom, look at you. Always so complimentary, Tom. Yeah, Kim. I'll say it again. I say it every show. It's becoming like my phrase. If this team ever becomes as good as our fan base, we'll never lose another game. This fan base is terrific. We deserve all the success.
I heard somebody say something really dark today. They said maybe Joe Namath needs to pass away in order for the curse to be lifted. And I was like,
that's common.
Chills up my spine.
That's a common take.
Yeah, I had chills up my spine, and I'm like, that's horrible, but like, it could be true. It's like, oh my God.
Well, it's obvious yesterday they honored Abdul Salam during the first commercial break. We lost, so he didn't have the curse on his back.
Fucking Vinny Testaverde. I mean, you got all these things that get going against us with this curse. It's like enough already.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought Rodgers was going to be the answer, but clearly not.
Yeah. One day we'll figure it out. And
I have so little faith in what's left of this year. I really sorry, but I just don't think it matters that we got Davante Adams. But I'm gonna keep hoping and rooting and crying until it happens.
Could be worse. We could be the 2020 Jets.
Or the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah. Who looked like the 2020 Jets.
They're just going to get the number one pick every year for the next however many years.
Yeah. Well, they had to do another year because they didn't get it the year that they gave it to the Bears. So they're like, all right, we'll do it again. We'll get it right this time.
I think they should put a rule in place that you're not allowed to have the number one pick 2 years in a row. That you should just be dumped into the, bottom part of the top 10 or something. That should be like a rule. If you can't get your shit together 2 years in a row, then you can't have the first pick in back-to-back years. They should make that a rule. Just,
Yeah, they got to do something, but Carolina will fuck it up. Seems to be what they do. But all right, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you for your friendship. You're a good dude. I appreciate you.
I'm gonna give you an Alan Lazard. Pew 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 pew. You're out of here.
I much prefer on-air Gator instead of chat Gator. Chat Gator rips me the fuck apart, and I like on-air Gator much better.
Every time I type something in the chat, I giggle to myself. I'm just amusing myself. It's just
I giggle too. There'll be time, when I read your comment, because I'll giggle and like just go back and like shake my head and not put it up.
Yeah, sorry.
So I feel if I put up all of your rips on me, it'll encourage the rest of these psychos to start doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And I say that with love because I'm a psycho too. So, all right. Good night, pal. Thanks.
Cheers.
Talk soon. All right, everyone. Here we are. 2-4. So what we expected? No, not. Is it what we want? No, it's not. But I'm going to do something that some of you can't stand. I'm going to shine the light on the positives right now. Positive number 1. You're 1 game out of a playoff spot, even though you're 2-4. Positive number 2. There's 11 games left, and you hold your own destiny. Number 3, Davante fucking Adams. Number 4, you play several teams that you can beat and own the tiebreaker over come later in the year. I thought there was a better energy yesterday with the team, with the coaching staff. Special teams just didn't deliver, or that's a win. So I think that the reasons we lost yesterday are correctable. I think Davante will open up the offense and we don't settle for 4 field goal attempts. We actually get some touchdowns on those drives. On the Pat McAfee show today, they said that going into the game, we used motion on 43% of our offensive plays, the lowest in the NFL. Yesterday, we used it 40 out of 59 plays. So we had almost 400 yards. Clean up the penalties. You want to be loved by the Jets fan base, Jeff Ulbrich? Clean up the penalties. I'm not saying everyone was deserved. We know the referees took the game into their own hands. Clean up the penalties. You want to be a coach in this league for a long time? Get down to 3-4 penalties Sunday night. Get Michael Carter back. Michael Carter will cover all that underneath crossing route shit. Turn the penalties down. Get a better formation with the offensive front. If you're kicking out the wide 9 guys and having 2 defensive tackles against 5 offensive linemen, every team's going to check to a run and just run off tackle. So those are some of my thoughts on the game. It's Tuesday night. Thank you to the Buffalo Jet fan for coming on. Thank you again to Clancy, Boba Jet, Addison, Knob for the memberships. You guys are fantastic. I appreciate all of you. Thank you for all of you for watching. Make sure you like the stream, please. It helps with the algorithm, helps let other people that you engage with on YouTube see, hey, I watched this show. This is fun. It's enjoyable. It'll pop up in their feeds. Thank you to all of you for helping me hit 1,100. Helping us hit. It's our channel, right? It's not me. This is us. This is our gig. Thank you, Shiners. Thank you, everyone who is a member. And I'm sure there'll be some people hanging out in the Discord. If you we're gifted a membership. It's right on the bottom. Tells you what to do. Forgive me for not putting that up earlier. I was enjoying some of the conversations. Tom, there will be a show tomorrow night. I'm not sure if it's going to be an interview show. I got a couple ideas for this week. Do a little fun hangout on Thursday. Thursday night, I might come on a little earlier. We'll do a little fun hangout. And maybe, just maybe, I can get Bobby Midnight to stay up till midnight Thursday night and come on and sing happy birthday to yours truly. So I know Bobby loves singing people happy birthday. Maybe we kick off my birthday on Friday morning at 12:01 with the great Bobby Midnight. Get him some sleep, get him to take a nap, and then be up late. Thank you, Mess. Can you see them putting ABT? No. Who's your guard? It's Olu if it's not Smith. You didn't draft Olu at 11 to move ABT again. I'll be honest with you. ABT's been a little disappointing for me at right guard. Oh, we need like stickers. What are like stickers? I don't know what that is, Kim. Yeah. Blitz, when's your birthday? Yeah, I'm Friday. I'm the 18th. When are you, pal? Oh, I'm doing it again. I said goodbye and I'm starting new conversations. You're all gonna make fun of me for it. Yeah, Rob, I'm not. I want pre Denver year 1 ABT back. Oh yeah, it smells like redwood. Not Jake. It's redwood scented. The new beard thing that I have. It smells so good. Oh, Bloods. That's right. It was last week. Jesus Christ. I'm tired, man. Forgive me. I said happy birthday to you. We were on Discord together that night, right? Like when you vote, you get a sticker. Oh, nice. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for watching the show. Keep your heads up. It'll get better. Programming notes tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Thursday night, 9:30 or 10 p.m. Possibly Sunday afternoon before the game. Might do something around dinner time, maybe 5, 6 o'clock. Little game preview. But buckle up. Thursday night. Save all your good jokes, all your good material. We'll have a roast. We'll do that. Come on air. Roast me. Let's have a blast. Let's have a lot of laughs. I'm old. I'm 46 on Friday. I didn't think I'd fucking make it. So let's fucking laugh our asses off and have a great night. So, ladies and gentlemen, as always, be loud, be proud. New York Jets fans. Good night, everybody. Take care. Thank you.